Hi everyone, please forgive the production value on this video, but I wanted to make it as soon as possible because I just returned home from my first ever doctor's appointment in Italy. And I think that this is something that is very important for people to hear, especially in the United States and especially women, especially of my age. I guess that kind of covers it. This is important information. I have been dreading going to the doctor ever since I moved here because I come from the United States where I am conditioned to understand that going to the doctor might frankly bankrupt me. It's going to be expensive. It's going to take all day. I'm going to have to really fight hard to advocate for my needs at the doctor's office. This has always been true, but has been getting harder and harder the older I get in order to get the care that I need. It will not be pleasant. I'm accustomed in the United States to having to fill out a ton of forms online ahead of time and again when I get there, and having to run through all my medical history, including things that are painful. And as women know, at pretty much every time you go to the doctor, especially a new doctor, you have to recount, like all your pregnancies, successful and not. Your entire life. Things like that are just, it's agonizing, and I think it makes women especially not want to go to the doctor. And so I've been dreading this, but I needed a medication so badly. I've been rationing, it's not been good. I've been dreading this. So finally, I took the advice of some other people around here to just make an appointment at a doctor's office. Just basically a random general practitioner that happens to be in my neighborhood, with nothing to show for myself. So I was able to do this online in all of like 5 minutes. I got an appointment roughly 4 days after I got online to make the appointment with a doctor that's like 2 blocks away from me. And he had kind of an old sounding name, so I was expecting an old man. And I prepared in advance like 4 pages worth of phrases and vocabulary that I thought I might need in order to explain my symptoms and to advocate for myself. Why do I need this? Because I'm honestly kind of desperate for these medications at this point. And so I prepared all these pages of things to be able to say in Italian. But I get there. Check-in was very easy. Basically, just your name, and they let the doctor know you're there. Done. In the small waiting room, there were also people who didn't have appointments that were just keeping track of the order for themselves, so they knew when they could walk in. So that when the doctor's done, with appointments, he takes the walk-ins in the order in which they've arrived. This did not seem problematic for any of them. The people who walked in were just like, okay, yeah, you're the last one? Okay, great. And had a feeling, that it wouldn't take very long for them. They all seemed in good moods. So then I catch a glimpse of the doctor from his last appointment. I'm like, it's not an old guy. No, it's a young, very attractive guy. Of course it is. Of course it is. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to discuss my menopause symptoms with a young, attractive doctor. This is going to be awesome. Well, the first thing I did, I introduced myself, explained, I'm living here now. I need these prescriptions. And I pulled the bottles all out of my purse. I'd written down all the translations, but then I also had the bottles because I figured the doctor might want to see them. He asked me about, what my last blood work test results were, and I told him. And in the meantime, he's looking at my prescriptions and he's starting to write new ones. We chatted a little bit about kind of how I came to be here. He congratulated me on pursuing, my citizenship here, and that I'm not the first American he's met who's been doing this exact same thing. We had a little joke about my antidepressants because I think I might not need them anymore. And he said, yeah, Sicilians don't suffer depression. He's like, it's just, it's a better life. He's like, with the sun and the food and the sea, you're going to be fine. He said, but still take them. He's like, you can wean them off slowly. gave me no issues at all. I mean, took the hormone replacement therapy pills and was like, yep. And he asked, is this working for you, this dosage? I'm like, yes. And he's like, great, keep taking those every day. I mean, just no arguments at all about anything. Just seemed, open to whatever it was I needed. And like, yeah, is this all good for you? This is working for you? I'm like, yeah. And boom, I was out of there. I mean, at this point, it has still been less than an hour since my appointment. It's been about 50 minutes since my appointment. And I also made a stop at the bakery. So I'm going to say 30 minutes total for me to see the doctor, get my prescriptions, take them to the pharmacy downstairs where they filled them immediately while I was standing at the register. Didn't even have, I was kind of looking forward to like browsing around the pharmacy, but no, they took the prescriptions, they opened the drawers, they got the medicine and gave it to me. And my total cost, first of all, there's no cost for the doctor at all. 3 months worth of my prescriptions for hypothyroidism and menopause hormone replacement therapy was less than $20. And that's without you. I have private insurance. I could send this receipt off and try and get something back, but 3 months worth for less than 20 euros. And that was with like no questions asked, no ID shown, nothing about, is this your employer? Is this your current insurance? How much is your copay? Blah, 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 blah. None of that. There was none of that BS at all. So, American friends, you want to talk about a broken system. Your system, having your health depend on your work, being afraid to go to the doctor because of expenses, even when you have insurance, being afraid to go to the doctor because of all of the hassle, the paperwork, the red tape and things involved, or how long you have to wait to see specialists and things. That is not a thing here. You get what you need and you get it immediately and at very little to no cost. The guy who was behind me at the doctor's office ended up behind me at the pharmacy as well. So his didn't take very long either, which is probably why the people who were walk-ins didn't seem to be too concerned about it. Like they were just keeping track. Okay, yeah, there's 4 of us. We know where we're going. And that blows my mind. Something I have dreaded for 6 months that gave me so much anxiety, I can't even begin to tell you. That I was willing to ration my prescriptions because I've been avoiding this so much, scared to death of how I was going to make my arguments in another language. And none of that was necessary. Took me 5 minutes to make an appointment, 3 days to wait. Wouldn't have even had to wait, really. I could have done one of those walk-ins, and that would still have taken me less waiting time than waiting for a doctor's appointment in the US. And got what I needed. And now I'm not afraid to go back now because it was a good experience. So now, yeah, if I have an ache or a pain or there's something that I need, I'm not going to be afraid to go back because I know I'm not going to walk out of there bankrupted or embarrassed. I am floored. And then I've also had people tell me, oh, well, it's not as good in Sicily as it is in the north and blah, blah. Right now, I don't care. In Sicily, it is so much better than anything I've experienced anywhere else that all of you brothers and sisters that are living in the United States, no, that is not how it should be done. Oh, for goodness sakes, it should not be done that way. Yeah. So yeah, I'm about to get back on my meds that I have in my hot little hands after 30 minutes of no fuss, no great expense, and I'm going to feel so much better. I already feel so much better. And so I just wanted to share that with anyone who's feeling hesitant about moving to another country because of your health care and thinking that American health care might be superior in some way. That is some BS we have been conditioned to believe, and it is not true. So do not let your medical conditions be any reason for you not to move here. Just take it from somebody with a lot of medical conditions. It's okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about Medicare, medical coverage in Sicily. Thanks.